SmackDown took place tonight in Denver, Colorado. To start the show off, we saw Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss arriving together, along with the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough. Then we saw Penta arriving, and then we saw Vision, all the members arriving, and they would start the show. The Vision was in the ring. Paul Heyman cut a promo, then the Usos interrupted him, and then they said they had backup, and it was Cody Rhodes. His music played and looked like he was going to join the Usos in a fight against the three in the ring, which were Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. And Heyman, I don't think counts, but what happened was Cody's music played, then it stopped. He never came out. Then we go outside to see that Drew McIntyre actually attacked Cody Rhodes in his personal tour bus, leaving him bloodied. Cody was just lying by the steps. He is beaten down. The Usos left. They rushed to go check on him outside. And this was actually a very good segment, I thought. Unfortunately, they could not recreate the classic Chicago beatdown in the rain on the road to WrestleMania 40 last year. That's when The Rock put that brutal beatdown on Cody Rhodes outside his tour bus. And right when I saw the bus, I immediately thought of that classic segment, one of the best segments ever, one of the best Monday Night Raws of all time. Last year in March of 2024. We clearly didn't have anything like that tonight. This was not that, but this was still a good segment, I thought. So when we come back from break, outside, the Usos are checking on Cody Rhodes, and there's a whole bunch of trainers and medical staff there as well. And then Drew McIntyre drives by and says, "See you at War Games," which is actually pretty funny in a way. I mean, it's really cool. They shouldn't say funny. It's just something Drew would do. And it kind of reminded me of the Drew we saw last year with the feud with Punk. And here, the feud with Cody is just always angry and always whining. That was kind of like that cruel, sadistic side of Drew we saw last year. And I thought this was actually one of the better SmackDowns we've seen in a while, to be honest. So Ilya Dragunov was out next. The Awful Judgment Day music plays, and JD McDonough takes the challenge. We got Ilya Dragunov against JD McDonough. I wonder who was going to win this match. Yeah, Ilya won with the H-Bomb. Backstage, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair were walking, and Charlotte told her that she's only doing the War Games match for Alexa. And then Alexa takes her in, and it looks like this has to be a restaurant in the arena. And she takes her there. It looks like it to me. I don't know what else it could be. Maybe some lounge. It's not catering. But she takes her in, and she opens the door, and we see Rhea Ripley and Io Sky sitting. So Alexa takes Charlotte to Rhea and Io, and then she goes off, and Io goes off after Rhea asks her to, just to let it be between her and Charlotte. So Alexa and Io are gone, and it leaves Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair forcing to talk it over, basically. They're talking it over, and that's what we get. So we go backstage. Kathy Kelly's interviewing Adam Pearce. She asks about Cody's condition. He doesn't know, and then he confronts the Vision, who were backstage. Carmelo Hayes was out next. We see Ilya Dragunov walking backstage. Tama Tonga says something to him. I really don't care to see that match. And then Ciampa tells him not to worry about Tonga, worry about him. Ilya calls him a jackass. I guess that's what they're doing. And then Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae come up to Ciampa, tell him not to worry about and to focus on their match against Fraxium tonight. As Bronson Reed made his entrance, this was actually a cool moment on the show. Michael Cole actually paid tribute to Bob Caudle. He was the famous NWA broadcaster. He did most of his work with Jim Crockett Promotions. Then later it became Mid-Atlantic WCW early days. Yeah, he was a huge figure, very influential. He also mentioned Jim Ross because Bob Caudle he called the War Games match with JR. So very nice, classy tribute by Michael Cole. He even used the Hello Wrestling Fans line by Caudle. So that was definitely a cool moment there, and definitely appreciative of Michael Cole for doing that. So we get Bronson Reed and Carmelo Hayes. Last time is now tournament. This was actually a good matchup here. So what happens near the end is Cody Rhodes comes out, and the referee's distracted because some of the Vision members are out. But Cody attacks Bronson Reed on the outside as the referee is distracted. This allows Carmelo Hayes to get a count-out win and advance in the tournament. Cody then cuts a promo on each member of the division. He says War Games is his birthright, obviously referring to his father, Dusty Rhodes, and his involvement, of course, in the territories and War Games and WCW later. So that's where that came from, the whole birthright line. Backstage, Alba Fire is with Chelsea Green, and she immediately runs into the locker room as she's wearing a dress. When she sees Kiana James and Julia walk in, they confront Alba where Chelsea is. Julia obviously wants another shot at it. And then Jade Cargill confronts her. Chelsea Green runs off, and I guess Chelsea Green was so afraid of this, she actually rescheduled her U.S. title celebration to next week, probably. And she's wearing the dress, I guess. I think they might be taping SmackDown for next week, I've heard. I think Asuka and Charlotte are having a match right now as I'm doing this review. I saw a tweet from it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think SmackDown is taped next week, and it's Denver, so it's the West Coast, so they can tape 2 shows in a row. And by the time they're done, like it'll be Eastern time, where it is now in Denver by the time they're done everything. So that actually does make sense because the show takes place in the afternoon live, so they make sense to do a taping there, and I guess in a way it saves costs. They don't have to do a show in San Diego night before Survivor Series. Doesn't matter. It should be a fun show anyway. You know, it can just be a wrestling show, and the celebration will be a part of it as well. Fraxium is out next, and then Sami Zayn comes out. He's backstage. This is after Fraxium is out. He's with the Motor City Machine Gun, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Dragon Lee ahead of their Survivor Series War Games, their traditional Survivor Series elimination match next week against the MFT. He cuts an impassioned promo. It's, Sammy's just taking such a back seat right now. It's like he means nothing right now. It's kind of sad in a way of how much steam he's lost. When the Royal Rumble was first announced in Saudi Arabia, because of the location, I thought Sammy was primed to win that. Now, I don't think he's winning that match at all. Unless something changes in the next few months. Next couple months. We're almost in 2 months. I don't see him winning the Rumble. The guy's ice cold right now. We get Fraxium and DIY. Again, if this was like an NXT, this would have been not the current NXT. The NXT Black and Gold would have been one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. But still was fine. Candice LeRae took off Axiom. She ripped Axiom's mask off and allowed Johnny Gargano to get the pinfall win over him, so they win. Then we have Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley sitting across from each other at a table, and Rhea is respectful. She gets them both on the same page. They shake hands, and it seems like right now there's not going to be a turn. I hope they're not doing Rhea and Charlotte again at WrestleMania. I really don't want to see that again. But I do think they've done a good job building this up because they have such a long history and rivalry. We get a John Cena interview snippet on rapping on the tour bus in Europe. He was told he was going to be let go around Christmas time, and then he did the rap, and Stephanie overheard him, and she asked him if he could do it on TV, and that's what led to the basic Thugonomics character, and the rest is history, as they say. Finn Balor was out next. We get Penta and Finn Balor in the last time is now tournament match. Penta obviously wins. Not much to say here. Then they look at the last time is now tournament bracket. We get an MFT promo. Don't care. Then we see the female babyface team for War Games heading to the ring. The 4 of them walking together, unified. And then they make their entrances when we come back. First Charlotte Flair is out. Then Alexa Bliss is out. Then Io Sky is out. And then Rhea Ripley is out to a huge pop. As they all make their entrances, Rhea gets on the mic and she says she's going to war with the right people. And then she finally introduces the 5th member, and it's none other than AJ Lee. Gets a big pop. It made sense. AJ was the right choice. We knew that was coming from what we saw on Raw. However, as she's coming out to the ring, the heels get in the ring and attack the faces. So you have Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Asuka, and Kairi Sane all attacking Alexa, Charlotte, Rhea, and Io, beating them down. And then AJ is concerned. She goes to the ring, but then she's jumped by Becky Lynch. Becky beats down AJ. All the baby faces are left lying. The heels stand tall, and then Becky shakes hands with Asuka, officially joining the team. So AJ Lee joins Alexa, Charlotte, Rhea, and Io. Then Becky Lynch joins Nia, Lash Legend, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. So we have our War Games match for women officially set, and that's what we're getting next week. So it's all set up. I thought the show was fine. I thought it was fine. I liked the opening segment. I liked the last segment. I liked the stuff with Rhea and Charlotte. Some of the stuff dragged. Whenever the MFT is on TV, I don't want to watch. I really don't like Division that much as a character, as a gimmick, as a faction. I'm not that into it. But I thought the show overall was actually pretty decent. So last couple weeks, since that, I think that horrible... There was that really bad Halloween episode that tanked really badly in attendance and ratings, and I think the next week was bad as well, if I'm not mistaken, but the last couple weeks have actually been pretty decent, so hopefully they keep it going into the new year, because this is a lost year for SmackDown. This is one of the worst years for SmackDown in its history, 2025, I thought, but hopefully, especially when they go to 3 hours, they're able to have a better show. So that was it, and we'll see what happens next as we head into Survivor Series, which is next week.